Look at these beautiful fields. The lake of shining waters. And Anne. And Matthew driving our tractor. I got a good picture of Matthew and Anne. There is an ocean right out there, but you can't see it because of the fog. It's a very foggy day today. And we are back to the Green Gables Museum. And Matthew Ferry Drive. Oh look, it's a beaver, or actually I think it's an otter. That's an otter.
Muskrat.
Muskrat. It's a muskrat. Sorry. That's crazy. So beautiful here. Taking us around the barn. So this is where Maud's aunt and uncle lived. So she would come to this farm often. And to get here, she would have to pass her birthplace. She was only 18 months old when she left her birthplace when her mom contracted tuberculosis and she had to leave. There is a horse over there. But she would come here, and this is the Lake of Shining Waters that inspired Green Gables. And then look at this beautiful horse. This is what should be pulling the wagon.
So you said that her name was Maggie?
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. She's huge. There's the field. Our Matthew is very nice.
When people come over and they look at our horses, like, they say, oh my gosh, they're huge. I'm like, no, they're really not.
I know, right?
They're pretty small. I mean, I think our biggest one's probably Kid.
Yeah,
Sock,
Kid.
although Sock is built.
Yeah.
Sock is kind of...
Our little Surrey. And we're coming
That
back
was a pretty good shape, too.
to the next drive. Yep. Oop. So this house is actually still being lived in. So the rooms that are marked private are their actual, like, rooms that they live in, which is really neat. And it's actually still owned by her family. So these are all relatives. Huh? This is the parlor bedroom. And this is an actual relative who published. I'm trying to get it so my shadow is blocking it so you can pause and read it. And this is the family that lived there when Maud would visit, married from this old homestead where the family lived for 5 generations. Everyday dishes. The Campbell's everyday dishes. And the author ate from these many times. Look at that. Everyday dishes. Amazing. And then she was actually married. In this room, I believe, was the parlor. So she was married in this room. Ellen Montgomery. And this organ is still played, they said, at weddings, because people can get married in this room like she did, which is pretty amazing to me. It was for her wedding. It is still used today for weddings, it says. James Townsend Campbell. You can pause and read that if you'd like to. So I don't know if you can see these pictures well because of the thing, but it says, James Townsend Campbell is a fine fellow, good-tempered, industrious, and a good manager. James, the former owner of this home, Silver Bush, is pictured here being interviewed by Joan Marshall of the CBC in 1960 about the life of Lucy Maud Montgomery. James affectionately spoke of her as Aunt Maud, having been related to the author by both his mother and father. His dream was to set up the family home as a museum like it is today. He passed away in 1969, a year before his dream was realized. But James's wife Ruth opened the museum in 1970. The house is now owned and operated by their son, George Campbell, and his wife, Maureen. I said to a man who stood at the gate of the year, "Give me a light that I may tread safely into the unknown." And he replied, "Go out into the darkness and put your hand into the hand of God. That shall be to you better than light and safer than the known way." This right here shows Grandfather McNeil's home in Cavendish, where Lucy Maud lived as a girl. So that's where she ended up going. That was the that area that just showed the ground. Lucy Maud loved cats, and this was a poem she wrote to her cat Maggie, who passed away. And I can't get it to focus. This is the stairwell. It goes up the stairs. And Shirley. Not sure what room this is, but look how cute that is. It was knitted. Out the window. So pretty. These are private rooms that are being used by the family. Dishes are from New Moon, the writer Aunt Emily's home. Campbells of California. Word picture of Stella and myself at Niagara. The selected journals of Maud, Volume 2. There she is, Ellen Montgomery. Grandma Campbell and Maud. That was who she lived with. Aunt Charlotte. Aunt Emily. This was Maud's mother, who died at 23 years old. She was 22 months old when her mother passed away. Not sure what all these pictures are. They look pretty cool. History is amazing. This is the Crazy Quilt by Maud, who is Lucy Maud Montgomery was known by Maud. And I think the reason that is because she was named after her grandmother Lucy, who she lived with. So to keep confusion from happening, because they both worked at the post office and in the kitchen, she went by Maud. That's my theory. It says, "This bedroom as it was in the writer's time, as she said, my own little bedroom." Bubble in Cavendish. A dryad is a sort of grown-up fairy, says Anne, found in chapter 12 of Anne of Green Gables. Second son, Dr. Stuart MacDonald. He suffered a severe brain hemorrhage and passed away within hours, about the same age as his mother. This is the McNeil home in Cavendish, the writer's grandparents. Not sure what these are, but pretty cool. Her Aunt Emily's dresser is from Emily of New Moon, the author's aunt, and the large bed is from the Campbell attic here. Also on display is handwork done by her cousin Jessie McNeil, who died in 1916. "Don't give up all your romance, Anne," he whispered shyly. "A little bit of it is a good thing. Not too much, of course, but keep a little of it. Anne, keep a little of it." Matthew says this is not long before he died, leading up to the song, "Anne of Green Gables never change. Stay as you are today." Years back, when Ellen Montgomery was about 10 years old, she was visiting a house across from Silverbush. She told the girl who lived there, "If I ever have a little girl, I'm going to call her Anne." She never had a little girl, except in her books. Postman in Cavendish leaving the post office at Ella Montgomery's grandparents' home with the Daily Mail to take it to the train station at Hunter River, about 1900. Favorite book. The story girl she tells of a true romance that happened in the Campbell home back in 1947. The Blue Chest of Rachel Ward is a story about Eliza Montgomery's distant cousin of the author who was to be married here. And the day of the wedding, the bridegroom didn't show. Eliza buried her wedding cake out in the front yard, locked all her wedding clothes and gifts in the blue chest, and warned that the chest never to be opened, and it remained locked in the Campbell kitchen for nearly 40 years. Eliza never married and spent the rest of her life living in Toronto. When the author obtained permission from her cousin to open the chest, it revealed some of the contents that are displayed in this showcase. This was her dowry. Came with her if she were to be married. The chest is down in the kitchen. I will show you the chest next. This right here is that blue chest that it talks about up there, that all her stuff was in.